In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Samsung Galaxy A27 5G. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the brand new Samsung Galaxy A27 5G right here in the house. If you guys do want to pick up this device at all at any time in this video, I'll leave a link in the description down below. And shout out to Wireless Place for actually providing this unit for review. If you guys do want to get a discount on this device, they do have it on their shop right now. Just use code TechRight at checkout and you'll get a pretty decent discount. Alright everyone, so getting into the specifications of this device, our display is going to be a 6.7 inch display. What's really cool about this though is they are finally dropping the teardrop notch, so we have that hole punch, I guess, notch in the middle at the top of the display, which is beautiful to see. We have either a 6 or 8 gigabyte of RAM version inside of here. Of course, base is going to be 6 gigabytes of RAM. This is going to have the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3, so not too bad of a processor. We have a 5,000 milliamp battery inside of here, 25 watt charging on this device as well for wired charging. However, we do not have wireless charging on this device. The other cool thing about this, however, is we do have micro SD card expansion on here. Thank you, Samsung, for not leaving us people that love to expand their storage. You guys can expand your storage on here, and we also have two different options. We either have 128 or 256 gigabytes of internal storage, depending on what you want. We do have a Gorilla Glass Victus Plus front and back on this device as well. This is compatible with eSIM, so if you go outside of the United States or wherever you're at, you can go ahead and use another eSIM on here. A couple of weird things though, especially for the downgrades on this. We actually went from Bluetooth 5.3 to 5.1, which is super weird. We also don't have IP67 on this anymore. We went down to IP64, so it is splash resistant, but it is not submersible, which is kind of weird, honestly, going from the A26 to the A27. Also, the one other thing is that our ultra wide camera on here went from 8 megapixels to 5 megapixels. So weird choice. We're going to get into the photos and all that stuff later, but let's actually go ahead and unbox this device. This also does come in a bunch of different colors. However, I got this blue one right here. I think it comes in black and silver and stuff like that, but we'll talk about that later. Of course, the phone is right here. We're going to go ahead and put that to the side. Inside of here, we're not going to have a charging brick, but we are, however, going to have that SIM ejector tool right here. Inside of the box, we have a USB Type-C to Type-C data cable, and we have a quick start guide with a thick book. Jeez, super thick book. We also have our warranty card and our energy info on here as well, and that is all we get inside of the box. All right, everyone, so let's go ahead and reveal the phone right here. This is a heavy phone, but wow, this color is a deep blue right here, for sure. Super, super nice looking color. The phone does feel pretty hefty as well, so it's not going to feel cheap, but look at this color, dude. What? I love the accent on the camera right here as well. The camera module with the blue accent, that is so sick. What? Wow, dude. That's definitely a good little design that they made on here. That's really cool. So love the design, love the color of this. I knew the blue was probably going to be my favorite. They did have pink as well. That was another color that they had on here. Of course, on the back of our phone right here, though, we have the Gorilla Victus Plus glass on here. We have our Samsung logo at the bottom as well. And we have our camera module right here as well. And on that camera module, we have a triple camera setup. Our main camera is going to be a 50 megapixel wide angle camera. Our secondary is going to be a 5 megapixel ultra wide. And our third is going to be a 2 megapixel macro. And this is capable of recording at 4K at 30 frames per second, or 1080p at 30 FPS, or 720p as well. On the right side of the device, we of course have a fingerprint sensor that is going to double as our power button. Let's go ahead and hold that and boot up this phone while we're waiting, going around the phone. We also have our volume up and down rocker right here as well. It is not going to be spaced. Top of the phone, we have our noise canceling mic. Left side of the phone, we have our SIM tray that actually holds that SD card expansion slot. So if you guys would like to put a micro SD card inside of here, you guys can put one up to, I believe, 2 terabytes, which is beautiful to see. No headphone jack on here. We have a noise canceling mic, however. In the middle, we have our USB Type-C port. And to the right of that, we have our single loudspeaker. So we do not have dual speakers on this. There is no stereo speakers, just that one speaker at the bottom of here, which is one of the only things that I'm really not too jazzed about, honestly. What's really weird as well is they are going to release this phone in the US July 14th for a price tag of $349, which really doesn't make any sense, especially when you take a look at the Galaxy A37. That device is currently $374.99. So I'm hoping that doesn't release at $349. I'm hoping it's something like, you know, $299. But if they are releasing it at $349, I would say get the Galaxy A37. Better specifications, better build, much better internals on that device. All right, everyone, so the phone is now booted up right here. One of the things I noticed straight away is that the bezels are kind of thick on this device, as you guys can see at the bottom and the top. We have some pretty thick bezels. However, the display does look very nice and punchy like Samsung devices always do. This is a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display. And again, we can use up to 120 hertz for our refresh rate on here. Also, 385 ppi. Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus for that display right here as well. And the other thing is we have 6 years of operating system updates on this device. So we go from Android 16, One UI 8.5, all the way up to Android 22. So pretty good update policy, especially when you compare it to something like Motorola's update policies, obviously. But yeah, looks pretty nice so far. Display doesn't look too bad. Going through the UI, of course, we have some things like Perplexity, Netflix, and the gaming hub and things like that on here. But other than that, everything looks pretty solid right here. We're running Android 8.5 on here, and that is very evident. Of course, we have our Wi-Fi, we have our auto rotate, we have our airplane mode, our power saving mode, QR code, internal screen recorder. We have link to Windows on this device as well. We have smart view, nearby devices, all that type of stuff. I do want to go ahead and take a photo real quick, see how that looks. I have heard that this is a decent camera so far. It's nothing to write home about, but let's go ahead and take a quick photo. Yeah, super punchy Samsung color is usually what you get on the lower end Samsung devices to mid-range devices. Doesn't look too bad whatsoever. Again, this is capable of recording at 4K 30 FPS as well, so pretty impressive stuff right there. Another cool stuff inside of here is we do have things like Object Eraser if you guys want to use that. So we do have intelligent features inside of here like AI Select if you guys want to go ahead and utilize those. But I do want to go ahead and take a look at the display in a video, and I do want to take a look at how the speaker on this device sounds as well. So display looks excellent. Can't really ask for too much more than this, honestly. Super AMOLED, 120 hertz refresh rate, solid for $349, really. Speaker on this device sounds a little bit tinny. Really not too bad though for just one single speaker, but obviously nothing to write home about at all. It's not going to be extremely loud by any means, but I don't think it's absolutely terrible by any means as well. So super average speaker right here. So that was the brand new Samsung Galaxy A27 5G in the flesh right here. And honestly, really think this phone is not too bad of a device. I would just say the price tag, dude, at $349 is really not competitive at all, especially when you're seeing the Galaxy A37 so closely priced at $374.99 on sale right now at Best Buy. I would absolutely snatch that up before it goes back up to $449, because when this phone drops July 14th, they're definitely going to throw the Galaxy A37 back at that $449 price tag. So if you guys get this device, device, whether it's at Metro by T-Mobile or on a deal somewhere else, if it's under like, $300, this is a really solid phone. But at $349, there's just a couple more options that I would choose before this, honestly.